was men's ability to embrace raising children and loving children and showing affection in a way that wasn't available to people in the early part of this century, the last century, even into the 50s and 60s. Before would see men, hugging each other, and fathers really being interactive parents. But someone said to me once, it's a special experience in the world for a woman to raise a man child. This is a chance for someone to experience what the other gender goes through, right? And just there's that bond, right? So and women have had that since time immemorial. It's a wonderful thing. And women and their sons, and men and their daughters, right? But so the quote was that for a woman to raise a man child is a special experience. For a man to raise a woman child it chokes me up. It's nice, it's unique and lovely, and to get to experience the world from a little girl's eyes is something that every dad should endeavor to embrace. So sorry, I'm getting choked up thinking about that, but yeah, my girls are everything. Chainsaw Carver, how that is rugged. If God were real and happened upon this live, even he would say, Jesus Christ, you're killing it. Thanks, man. Stay from it. You're right. If God showed up on this live, it would be great. I would have him on, and we would have a good conversation. I'm sure that would be all right, But that's the thing. If God shows up, we're all ready, right? We're like, okay, there he is, finally, or she. Can you just like lay it to rest once? Tell us what we should be doing, and you'll be right. There you go. We got the first one. No preaching on the train. Sorry, see rain. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord of the dead zombies. Jesus is Lord of your dreams. Isn't it wonderful how Jesus really works for some people? And it doesn't matter if he's real or not, It's like, it's a moot point. It's your belief, it's your faith that works for you, babe. So, the fact that you think you need to tell people that Jesus loves them, it's just dumb. Jesus doesn't demonstrably love anybody. He's dead. But you love Jesus, and that's good for you. That's what you should do if you love Jesus. Just keep on loving that fucker. Yikes. Hello from Missouri. What's up, my guy? The Progressive 101 is here. And Cletus 54. And my guy here, the sin-free atheist. Gustavito, ¿cómo está, mi amigo? Qué bueno verte aquí con nosotros. Black and blue polish, huh? That's cool. Yeah, I did actually notice that on you, and I'll probably keep doing it, or at least I don't know though. I got a gig coming up that might not work to have painted nails for. We'll see. The Golden Nut. Hello. If religion is working for you, then embrace it fully. If not, change it up. Well, if faith is working for you, embrace it fully. Religion isn't work. If religion is working for you, you need to change religion so that it doesn't fuck the rest of the world up. I got an issue with that. If your faith works for you and your spiritual life works for you, yeah. If your religion works for you, know that your religion is fucking other people up. Period. I'm a professional wrestler for WWE. Are you Zack Attack? That's cool. What's up, G Quincy? Thanks. I did have a good holidays. Look me up, beat John Cena 2 times body slam. Are you for real, Zack Attack? But good for you, dude. That's cool as hell. If you are, I'm not a wrestling fan, but sorry. What's up, hey Parker Mac? Atheist Sanctuary 2. My gal Ember, how are you? Good to see you. When are you gonna come by and we can make love with our beautiful bald heads together? Where you been, baby? Thanks, Owen. I appreciate you, and I'm glad to be back. It's been too long. I miss it. Once in a while you do need a break. It snowed on Sunday. I was getting around to that. I wasn't up Sunday because it snowed. I was bummed out to miss a Sunday morning one, because those are the money lives. On Sunday morning we get a lot more viewers. I think it's a better time when the family's at church. The atheists are like, all right, I'll check out some TikTok atheism. But Sunday it snowed, man. It snowed fucking New Year's Eve. I had to cut my vacation short, come back from North Carolina to be here for the snow, and then plowed snow for 13 or 14 hours or something Saturday night and Sunday morning. So that's just business comes first. I hate to miss that, but if that happens, that will interrupt my my Sunday live or the Wednesday night live, because you got to go out when it snows. That's the problem with snow plowing. You can't just like kind of do it when you want to. Where you at? I'm right here. Where you at? Any slot cars? No, you know what? I tried slot cars and I just couldn't keep them together. I don't know. When I was younger, I mixed them with the train and stuff, and try to do that. And something the slot cars just I don't know. They fly off the track and bust, or I lost them or something. I don't know. Still have green grass in upstate New York, really. Northern frogging New York here. What does northern frogging mean? Is that like instead of saying fucking, northern frogging New York? What do I think of Virginia? I love Virginia. They can't deal with snow apparently, right? Was it like 100,000 car crash or something? Because I don't know. Somebody was telling me. Um, Ashton the man is here, and he says plowing snow is great. Cool, man. You want a job? You can take my fucking place. I've about had it, man. Virginia's a beautiful state. What do you ask? I mean, it's it's steeped in hillbillies and rednecks and half red half the time, but there's it's gorgeous. Virginia was one of the first states I actually fell in love with how beautiful the scenery is. It's just a gorgeous state. Thank you, Alec Astro. It's nice of you to say. Virginia I-95. Is that what happened wherever the crash was? I don't know. Who knows? People are fucked up in the South. A little bit of snow comes in the South, and they put their blinkers on. They put their flashers on, like there was some kind of fucking emergency or something. I mean, the first time I drove through, I'm like, why does this asshole got his blinkers on? And then I'm like, it's flurrying out. Oh boy, you have the flurry in Tennessee. You got to put your flashers on the fucking road. And then there'll be somebody in the ditch. Like every mile, someone will be in the ditch. They say Jesus was merely a magician. I don't know, merely a magician. If he was actually a good magician who pulled that shit off, I kind of give him props for that. I would not be merely to me. That would be demonstrably more cool than what people think he actually is now. If he was a magician who could have like just wandered around with a robe on and nothing else and actually like done magic tricks. Thanks for the roses, Ken. Greetings from Florida to you. Greetings from Wisconsin, Florida. Thanks for being here. That's some other shit I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember, of course. Did you guys see Don't Look Up? That was I got some TV to talk about. I had a week and a half off and took in a lot of TV while I was laying on the couch. But the movie on Netflix, Don't Look Up, as fine a piece of social and political satire as you're likely to find. Adam McKay, I want to say, wrote and directed it. Who I'm not sure I know who he is or what he's done before, but this thing was pretty fucking brilliant. And when I saw the trailer for it, I'm like, yeah, right, this is up our alley, right? It's a biting satire against the Trumpian figure. In the White House, and they did a great job. Meryl Streep plays a female version, and Jonah Hill plays the Ivanka figure. It's just, and most of the movie is about, of course, a comet that scientists discover is going to destroy the Earth 100%, and nobody believes them when they say it because people are just obsessed with social media, celebrity breakups, the Kim Kardashian style shit of the world. Like the real indictment of the mindset and the way that we carry on socially these days. But it got around in the end to being a real attack and a real metaphor for the virus, right? It was just like common. All you got to do is like look at the science and the evidence and see, and nobody wants to believe it, or nobody wants to deal with it. Everybody's got another agenda. The president wants to get reelected. They're worried about their number. Nobody cares, and it's a stitch. It's a really really clever, funny movie in a lot of ways. And actually, in the end, both made room for atheism and religion in a way where they kind of bashed evangelicalism, but made kind of some apologies for the way religion can actually comfort people through a time like that where you're about to die and the planet's about to end, and try to make peace with your universe, whatever that is. So I enjoy that kind of shit in movies if it's well done, and it was. So I highly recommend Don't Look Up. If you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. My guy Stephen HL32 is here, and yes, Stephen, there is still no soul. What are my thoughts on pantheism? Oh, pantheism. Yeah, pantheism is just it doesn't mean anything. What are we talking about when you say pantheism? Do you mean the idea that the universe is God and everything in it is just everything is God manifest, or is pantheism There is a God in everything, right? There's two different definitions of pantheism, and I, the idea that everything has a spirit in it is more defensible, I think, than the Abrahamic faiths. Again, because we know that the molecules move, we know that atoms jiggle and move, right? So you could make a case for a rock having some kind of I don't know, activity, going on, some kind of life in a way to it. Um, and trees having a wood sprite that inhabits all that kind of stuff is, at least to me, more intuitive than the idiotic fucking Christian dogma and Abrahamic of faiths of guilt and fear. um but the other one, as Dan Barker pointed out when he was on the show, you're looking at the pantheism as what just everything. I mean, then what you've taken away the specialness of the God concept. What is it? If you can look outside of the tree, that's God. Then everything is God, and then God is nothing, right? So I don't know. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, thanks, Betty Florence. Yeah, climate change. I mean, there's a million things in there. It was about science. It was a real indictment of science now. Thanks, Marianne 17. And they touched all the bases. Toot toot from Indiana. Laura Williams, what's up? Glad you're here. Never ever trust an evangelical. No, of course not. I mean, they're just, they're about lying. And the movie hammers those people too. That peace is what God gives, not what we give ourselves. I don't know what that means. Thanks for joining, Muhammad Ali. Appreciate you. Spinoza's God. Yeah. If the universe is 8 billion years old, our mistakes doesn't really matter. Smile and enjoy life. The universe is like 14.8 billion years old, I think. Is the universe conscious? No, that's a silliness. I don't think it's conscious. No. um, Creation is made of the light of God. Nice poetry there. Meaningless. Any advice for dealing with religious trauma? Just leaving the Catholic Church. Yeah, don't go back. That's my advice. Yeah, I don't know, see a therapist, I guess. If you have real trauma from your experiences in religion, and you need to talk to somebody about it, then I would go ahead and do that. I'm a big fan of therapy. Not that I would ever go myself, but I like recommending it for others. I'm kidding. I'm one of those guys who would love to talk to a psychotherapist, because I figure like I can just have an interesting conversation, with them, show off the way I do a little bit. So I'm never against that, and I think that when people need it, it's a really valuable thing. And I have been to counseling, and it's great just to be able to talk to somebody. But if it depends on what your religious trauma is, and I feel bad for you, but yeah, embrace your new life. Don't fucking go back. Don't pay any attention to the Catholic Church again. Make sure that door slams shut behind you, and forget about it. Start embracing the one life that we know we have, and make it good for yourself. And don't worry. Every time those thoughts creep back in, just say it's all bullshit. It's all what they fucking wanted me to feel. It's all what they fucking worked hard to make me feel. Whatever it was, the guilt, the fear, the um, the bigotry, that's, or whatever it is. Let it go, baby, and embrace your life, and just do the best you can. um Opinion on Sam Harris. I'm all right with Sam Harris. I think he's a thoughtful guy. I don't he's done more to expose atheism than most people have, or popularize it, or at least normalize it, or kind of make it something that people can get their head around, at least with his books and stuff. So I'm all right, with Sam Harris. I like the fact that he doesn't cleave too hard to the crazy left, because the left is no better off than, really, just a little. They're a little better than the right. The ultra left is just a little better than the ultra right, but not much. Guy gave us the new COVID variants of stealth, Omicron, and IHU. That crazy guy. Yeah, God's like, yeah, guys, you think you got me? That guy. Bingo. Evolution. Virus evolves. Best way to deal with a religious trauma: learn to make your own decisions. That's good advice. Yeah, and trust yourself. Just trust your instincts, trust your mind. And you're going to make mistakes, but none of those mistakes are going to send you to hell. That's just all such bullshit. Yeah, who doesn't love Chris Hitchens? God, Daenerys. I love Daenerys Targaryen. That's who I love. There's a two dot for you, Daenerys 9199223. My phone did a major update and the controls and notifications are mostly very different. Wow. It just does that to you, right? You just like your phone updates and all of a sudden you don't know how to use it anymore. Yeah, that happens to me, but that's because I'm old. I feel like, these kids like wait for the new update and just can't wait to see what their phone can do now next. Is this Christian deconstruction thing a new movement? No, I think the word deconstruction has become popular. And like a lot of things in society. We get caught on a marketing phrase and it just becomes popular. Like born again Christian became, it was nothing but a marketing phrase that became popular among the people who found it evocative at some point in the very late 50s, probably when it first started, when Billy Graham did his thing. But really, when Reagan came around and that became a catchphrase in society, I think deconstruction is the same thing. I think people just like the big word instead of just saying, "Yeah, I'm leaving religion. I've lost my faith." It's I think it's always been going on to a certain extent. Calling it deconstruction is a new thing, and it's great. It adds an element to it. It makes it a little more um, maybe acceptable to people who are like, "Oh, well, really?" I see, and makes it seem a little bit more, I don't know, psychoanalytical. But I think it's just a phrase that people, that we didn't say back when you just left religion. You didn't say I'm deconstructing. No, it's just a product of our modern world. That whole phraseology of deconstructing from religion. But I love it personally. A lot of those things bug me when that comes around. Be like, hey, I'm deconstructing. But you just heard somebody say that. You don't really even know what that means, probably. Like, I have so much baggage to unpack from my religious trauma. So yeah, definitely like it's a cool trend. That's raw. I think it is um, a movement that's gaining momentum, like a snowball rolling downhill. And we see that reflected in the numbers of people leaving religion. So I think it's not a new movement though. I mean, people have been leaving religion for since religion started fucking with people. Come on, where's the new comments? I know you're there. What was the Muhammad? Three torches. Woo woo for you, buddy. I didn't see that one. Thanks for being here, bud. If you need a whistle, just let me know, man. 13.8 billion. Thank you, Polymath. I'm rolling back through the comments here to see what Muhammad Ali is like going on about. Another, um, a Muslim getting on here, getting upset about people bringing their cogdiss to the surface by denying their belief in an afterlife. Thank you, Laura. Thanks. We talked about the nails. Right when we first got on it, people noticed them right away. Um, they're festive. For trauma, in case I got muted, Google recovering from religion. For trauma, in case I got muted, Google recovering from religion. I don't think you got muted. Who muted? No one. No one can mute the Balrog. You're the demon of the ancient world. There you go. So if you're looking for help with religious trauma, Google recovering from religion and secular therapy. Yeah. The Clergy Project is a good place. Even if you're not clergy, I think you can read about um, or hear about the stories of people who were actually that steeped in it, and how they lost their faith. And there might be some help for you there. Um, Pope said having pets instead of kids is selfish. Yeah, because you're not having more kids who can give money to the Catholic Church and give their private parts too, because that's what is expected of them. Fuck you, Pope. What an idiot. Just when you think the Pope maybe's got like a thought in his head, he says something like that. What's my favorite atheist book? Oh God, I don't. I'm the wrong guy to ask. I haven't read a lot of those atheist books. I was already an atheist when all that shit came out. I've not read The God Delusion, and I should probably get around to it because I think a lot of folks on these lives expect that I might know some about that shit. But I just didn't. I need to. I haven't read Sam Harris's book. I haven't read. Um, Even I haven't even read Hitchens' books, so it's tough for me. I like to recommend The Christ Conspiracy by D.M. Murdoch that I have read, and that'll give you, especially maybe if you're deconstructing, and you're having problems leaving religion, and you want to see the whole perspective. This will give you a debriefing on your assumptions about the Judeo-Christian myth arc or the Christ myth in particular, and show you whether it's insanely well researched by D.M. Murdoch and Charlie S. Um, but there's no, it's just a book that's based on her research and largely therefore speculation and conclusion drawing. So there's no way to know if it's really exactly true, but it gives you a whole new perspective on why that whole Jesus um, myth became historicized and how it served the political needs of the Roman Empire at the time, and among other things. So it's a great book there. So I'm reading now a book called Upon Further Review, and it was sent to me, and it's like this thick. It's really big because I'm still reading the Quran too, and I'm into like chapter 21, 22, 23 of Quran, and it's just still terrible. But find it on Amazon if you think of it, and help this guy out. He spent 21 years, and he's just a very smart guy, or a scientist of some sort of. I forget what he said he was, an astrophysicist. He was some kind of smart guy, but he was always a Catholic, and he just wanted to actually study and look into it himself to see if he could find any truth in the Abrahamic faith. And he breaks down historically the differences between the Abrahamic faiths. I mean, it's just a huge comprehensive volume, and I'm only started it, but it's very readable. You can tell it's kind of written by an amateur because just kind of the style he's got, but it's very informative. Just filling in your gaps with knowledge about the history of the kingdoms of Israel and the ancient world in Mesopotamia and Babylon and the way a lot of those things. The guy's done a lot of work for you. But if you read through the whole thing, you'll he'll get to why he basically debunked religion for himself. He just went out and studied it on his own to see if he could justify it with any kind of truth finding, and it just wasn't any. So there's that. Got told the pop he's speaking the words. Got told the pop he's speaking the words of God. Don't know what that means, buddy. The joy of atheism. We all take a different path. Well, that's the thing. There's nothing that binds us together as atheists, is there? There's no dogma. There's no book. There's no laws. There's no rules. We just we don't believe your bullshit, bud. But you're right. Agnostic absurdists unite. Yes. 3 torches. You get one for that. I love it. Animals. Somebody asked about animals. Why humans are superior than animals? Aren't humans animals? Yeah, I don't think humans are superior to animals. That's a real religious construct, isn't it? Especially the religions that we're used to in the West here. The idea that God created man to have dominion over all the animals and everything else on the earth. Obvious idea when early man found himself at the top of the food chain, basically, as soon as he could make weapons enough to keep bears from eating him. Um, and able to wrangle animals and husband animals and learn how to farm and agriculture and use animals as they saw fit for their own benefit. And it was a natural evolution, right? To think that humans were put here superior to be superior to animals. But as soon as we realized through scientific research that we are in fact just another animal, there's really no other difference between us and animals other than our higher cognitive functions and our complex brains. That's really it. So the idea that they're superior than animals is stupid to me. I don't know why anybody thinks that. Um, we're just able to have our way with them, and that's not always right, is it? Johnny Paddler, thank you. Unlucky Taste joined. Oh, and somebody joined. Idaho Man Bun joined. How's the man bun go over in Idaho? Those potato farming hillbillies like that man bun, my friend. Lyrical Musings joined. Hans joined. Yeah. What the hell is going on? I finished Hannah. You guys like Hannah too on Prime? Good series. I feel like that was the last season maybe for Hannah. Cheese conies. I'll take your thoughts if you got any, but we don't need your prayers. And if they make you feel good, that's good. But thanks for that. Um, why do why do you think we need your thoughts and prayers? I'm wondering. Did something happen? Because thoughts and prayers. Okay. Oops, I brought up a. What's cheese coney though? Is that like a cheese rabbit or like a coney dog? Uh, no, that's cool. You got to be careful though. Cheese conies, we dig it. We don't allow people to do that shit because it's we've gotten caught and gotten our lives banned by Christians who come on just to troll and try to get a reaction out of me, which is not hard to do. So yeah, I love a chili cheese dog. Another coney dog, a real coney dog from Nathan's or a place like that. Man, come on, man. Uh, you were asking, not crazy cat lady was like, you put cheese on a hot dog? What? I like it. Hot dogs just aren't that tasty by themselves. So cheese to me on any kind of meat is better. But yeah, a chili cheese dog is like that to me. That's what's better than that. Um, Unless you're just gonna have mustard on a hot dog, there's no other way to eat a hot dog in my world than a chili cheese dog. To Chicago and they'll put a fucking whole salad on a hot dog, which the taste isn't that bad, but it makes the hot dog cold. Whoever fucking thought of putting a whole pickle spear as big as the hot dog itself and as thick as the hot dog itself on the bun next to the hot dog with all this other shit, lettuce, cucumbers, all this other cold ass shit. By the time you get this fucking hot dog to your mouth, it's half cold. Chicago hot dog, one of the most overrated things in the whole fucking world. Um, yeah. Have you tried cheese on a hot dog? Don't knock it till you try it, man. Nothing. I didn't put cheese on a ribeye, but yeah. No, but if you reheat a ribeye the next day, right? I had a ribeye, a fucking $70 ribeye from Ruth's Chris when I went to North Carolina. Man, it was fine. God, it was good. But when you bring it home the next day, slice it thin, heat it up real quick in a skillet, throw a fucking little thing of provolone on it, put it on a little sweet Hawaiian bun or something like that, or a little slider roll or like that, and it's fucking heaven on earth. No, when it's a fresh ribeye off the grill, no, you're not putting steak on it, not putting cheese on it, because a ribeye is just too fine by itself. But yeah, most other meat, yeah, cheese only can improve it. What are my thoughts on Unitarian Universalists? People who can't let it go. That's all. Yeah, they don't want dogma, they don't want judgmentalism, but they don't want to live in a universe without God. So okay, good for you guys. You have ribeye left over. You would get a fucking ribeye this big, man. Yeah, I had to box up that son of a bitch. Cheese and fireworks in Beloit, Wisconsin. That's right, my friend. Where are you in Beloit? Cincinnati is famous for its chili and cheese conies. Yeah, that's just a chili cheese dog is fucking brilliant. Thanks, Lee. You cool beans too. Lee are furt not amused. Lee are for not amused. What's the FR? I get the rest. Lee are FR not amused. Yeah, send thoughts and prayers when you don't want to actually help. That's a great fucking point. It's like, let's have a prayer circle. Let's all get together and pray. And then we can go back to our fucking Karen lives, pretending that we did something. Let's pray for the tornado victims, fucking idiots. Priest gave anti-gay speech at my wedding. Fuck him, when sacerdotes, y'all know that word, sacerdote? When a sacerdote takes the opportunity at a time like this to make a self-serving speech like this, what's more disgusting than that? It's like the guy who had to get up and preach at an atheist funeral, right? I told that story before. I went to an atheist's funeral and he had relatives from the South who came up and they were all Southern Baptists, black guy. He died really young and it was sad. And he was a great member of our community. And he was an atheist. He was an avowed atheist, and most of his family were Southern Baptists. And This dude took advantage of the opportunity to jump up and talk at this guy's funeral and tell people that this wasn't the end. It was just like, this is an atheist funeral. I have a little fucking respect, man. But that's what religious people do, right? They get up in your business, man, and they make it about them. During my wedding, the priest gave an anti-gay speech. Catholic wedding, 300 people at the church. All Catholics are bigots. First time poster. Yeah, all Catholics. No, we didn't say that. That's on Reddit, of course. All Catholics, not bigots. All Catholics who are still going to Catholic church and putting their money in the tin. You're all supporting the world's biggest sex abuse ring, child abuse ring. But I can't call you all bigots. That's too much of a generalization, even for me. At least two gay couples are saying that priest knows that weddings are attended by people from all religions. My family spent thousands planning to this fucking asshole. Yeah, no, that's bad. Yeah, I would report him to the diocese. I would do whatever I can to make that's miserable. You don't fucking go. I get it if you're going to just church and the asshole wants to make an antic, because that's the church's stamp. But if you're going to get married, that's evil. Why would it? Ugh, God, fucking priests, man. Oh yeah, here it is. Pope denounces selfishness of adopting dogs instead of kids. Oh, adopting. That's different than having. He's still trying to stop gay people from adopting. Yeah, yeah. You can't do much better, can you? If you're a kid and you get adopted by a gay couple, how lucky could you fucking get? And this asshole's trying to quit, because people who do that, it's because they want kids, right? And they're going to love those kids and take care of them. And you're going to have two incomes, and you get two smart people, and you're going to have two educated people, and you have two people who aren't fucking hateful bigots, probably. Um, so yeah, to get down on people, and again, they don't want you, having an abortion. Adoption is a safe alternative, but let's cut out the people that we're gonna let adopt. What a fucking dick. Ugh, look at him, jolly son of a bitch, man. Fuck Pope Francis and his ass, man. This dude's an idiot. I got no fucking patience for any of these people trying to fucking act like he's a fucking new world pope. He's just more of the same shit. Religion is just an excuse to demand submission. Yeah, okay. Um, that's really all Islam is, right? That's what Islam. I mean, to be Muslim means to be one who has submitted, right? Islam, I think, means struggle, but I think Muslim means a submitter, basically, is what it means. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on there. Um, have you tried the hot dogs injected with cheese? See, my problem with that is, what the fuck are they injecting it with? That shit's likely not cheese, you know what I mean? But what I do is I take the hot dog and I cook it, I fry it up in the pan, and I'll split it when it's about done. It's nice and hot in the middle. I'll split it, not all the way through, but split it so it's open. And I lay my cheese. I cut like little logs of cheese, lay them in that crevice, cover it up. Cheese melts. Um, Crazy good. But then I can get the cheese I want, not like goo that's like chemical injected plastic shit. None of that stuff I trust. They're putting that, they're not like using world class cheese when they're shooting it into a hot dog. I don't try to eat a lot of hot dogs anyway. Hot dogs are lips and assholes. And yeah, yeah. How many kids has the Pope adopted? Fuckstick. Mm, mm. Cheese whiz. You got my cheese whiz, boy. I got a soft spot for that stuff. Like I got a weak spot and a guilty pleasure for like cheese whiz on a cracker once in a while. But yeah, to go like I don't even eat nachos with that stuff. It's just like really, and I love it. If I have cheese fries, I'll use that stuff a little bit. But I don't try to do a lot of that fake cheese shit. Priest gave me and my wife marital counseling before I went. I think that happens everywhere, doesn't it? Isn't that the stupidest fucking thing? Priests are. I think that's what happens. If you get married in the Catholic Church, the priest gives you like a counseling session, and he's like, I mean, what's a priest tell him? What's a priest got to tell anybody about marriage? What's his advice? Mhm. I had somebody tell me that when they got married, their Catholic mom told them, that now that you're married, you need to go to bed without underwear on. She told her daughter this. You're married now. You need to go to bed without your underwear on, in case he comes home and he wants to do it. And she's like, the daughter's like, what if I don't want to do? What the fuck are you talking about? But this is a old school Catholicism. It's just like is that what a priest is going to dole out for marital advice? He's like, when he wants to do it, you got to do it. Um, You can't let your seed spill on the ground. That's a sin. You need to have a baby for every sperm that's out there. Um, you need to listen to him if he says some shit, because that's enough. I don't what. It's just so dumb. How can anybody in any kind of fucking church organization look at that custom and think that that makes any sense? People who can't get married are not allowed to get married are going to give marriage advice out. It's literally almost as dumb as the other shit that goes along with religion. But yes, religion is just an excuse to demand submission in a lot of ways. I'm not gonna read that one though. Christians don't really care about sin; they just hate gay people. Yeah, and this is sad because I know there's a lot of Christians that don't hate gay people. This is the evangelicals. This is the legacy that these fuckers will have left us with. Roe versus Wade gone by the wayside. Women's health rights taken fucking steps backwards in the former great country that was the United States of America, um, and um, and being fucking bigoted against gay people. Yeah, it's all the evangelicals who've just gotten so loud that it seems like those are the Christians that we have to deal with. And I have to remind myself too that no, most Christians aren't even really evangelicals. There's about 16% of the country, and if you add up all the other Christians, Catholics, and everything else, then they far outweigh the evangelicals. But that's evangelicals' gift to the world. Thank you all very much. Now you now created an equivalency in the people's mind with evangelicalism when we talk about Christianity, and of course they're not the same thing. American evangelical Christianity is truly one of the greatest evils afoot today on the planet, and I got no problem with Christians who are just trying to be good people, and there's plenty of them out there. But really, it's the evangelicals that are fucking things up, and they've ruined it for other Christians now. This is the worldwide perception of Christianity is evangelical lunacy. Well, my son made me proud recently. I'm a Buddhist, atheistic Buddhist, and my entire family is Christian. My son's mother and I broke up before he was born. She and later her new husband raised my son Christian. I've always been clear with him on my beliefs, but never pushed anything because I felt that'd make me no better than Christians who push their beliefs on others. I always hoped that it'd be like with me, where going to school, learning science, and observing reality would lead him to conclude for himself that Christianity is false. That's what happened to me, more or less. He's 14, well, 15 in a couple of days. During a recent visit, he stayed with me one weekend a month. And during a recent visit, he told me he's an atheist and gave the very reasons I've already said. So it made me pretty proud that he not only feels that way, but came to that conclusion for himself. Good. Well, you got lucky. You got a smart kid, right? You might have fucking gotten fucked, buddy, by not being a little bit more assertive when your wife married another Christian and you allowed him to raise your kid Christian. But good for you. I'm glad it worked out. They do. Thank you, Down Under. Down Under Dad. Where you been, girl? Good to see you there from Oz. Maybe other Christians need to speak out loud and clear against the evangelicals. Yeah, they do, and I say that all the time. It's like if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So if you're a Christian and you don't like what's going on with the evangelical right of your fucking religion, and you're not doing something about it, then you're part of the problem because you're all lumped together. You are Christianity now. And if you're not fucking standing up against these fundamentalist pieces of shit who are dragging us all into the past, then you're part of the problem, my friend. And if you're the same way, if you're Islamic, if you're a Muslim, and you're a lovely person who loves God and loves his family and tries to do the best he can for the world, we got no problem with you, except that you're not standing up against um, the fundamentalist whack jobs that are cutting people's heads off for showing their feminine face on Instagram. And give me a fucking break, man. If you're trying to be a Muslim and you're living in that world and you're letting that shit go on and you're not raising one fucking eyebrow or doing anything to try to stop it, then we got no use for you. You're part of the problem. We were taught zip about Zegs. Oh, you think I'm so crazy for it now? Yeah, baby. And I think that happens a lot, right? People come out of oppressive situations like that, and it's just like, wow, I can have guilt-free sex. Wow. I know some dudes who went fucking full crazy when they had guy came out of fundamental Christianity, and now he's down at the Icon dancing, with the gay guys every Friday night, and more power to him, man. I couldn't be happy for the guy. He finally is able to embrace his, you know, his desires. He's not hurting anybody, and now he's guilt free. And I think that probably happens a lot to folks. Um, So yeah, Czar, you weren't showing anything about Zegs. Oh, zip about Zags. Yeah, sorry, you were talking zip about Zags. Uh, thanks for the follow, I Gumpy. I Gumpy too sometimes. Lily O'Shea. I would love to stand up to them, but my mind can't take it. Whew. Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, then you should probably, you probably, if you're, are you a Christian? Is that what you're saying? And you should stand up to them. I just go ahead and leave Christianity. You can still have your faith. Jesus lands at Santa Barbara. Does he? Why Santa Barbara? Something going on there? FYI, one of the Jewish morning prayers is thank you, God, for not making me a woman. That's awesome, man. What the living fuck, man. Just when you thought Judaism had something, going on that the other two religions didn't, you're like, all right, then something like that comes up. One of the Jewish morning prayers, I gotta thank God, wake up again and I can pee standing up, man. Thank God. That's but again, when your religion is 4,000 years old, that was, women were second class citizens in a way that we can't really even imagine nowadays. They got bad and not bad now, but that was just a fact of life and our evolution out of the woods and into, more of a agricultural society where men, you wanted sons to be strong and lift shit around the farm. Just like uh but to write that into all your religion, you know what I mean? And again, the Quran, it says right in the Quran that God made men superior to women. You're like, yeah, look at it. God obviously men made men superior to women because of their physical gifts. There's some bullshit like that. It's just like, okay, this is where we're at with this in 600, and people are gonna fucking call this the divine word of a god, and here Muhammad is spelling out how to divide up your fucking fortune between your kids, and if you have girls they get less of a share than the boys get, and it's just like, why would God give a fuck about that? It's so obviously not the word of God. It's an embarrassment that anyone could think that. You got divorced and thrown out of the Catholic Church because you have no soul, man. That's why. It's a party. uh, uh, uh. What's up, Russell McLaughlin? One for you, man. Thanks for checking in. I love San Francisco. Full of atheists. San Francisco is one of those towns you can go on and guaranteed not to be, uh, too marginalized just because you don't believe in fairy tales. Many men of the Abrahamic religions expect women to do all of the work. Yeah, it depends on what the work is, I guess. You know, but yeah, there's that too. But speaking of the ancient world, obviously, farmers and people who had to work physically all the time were just they valued men more, right? Right or wrong, it was just the way the world was built, and that's what you need. That's what you thought you needed was a strong firstborn son. Neil deGrasse Tyson is your god. Is he? You know what? He lost some points with me when he got busted being creepy, right? And I don't think he really did anything wrong. He just like it came out that he just read the room, buddy. If the chick's not into you, shut the fuck up and quit inviting her back to your place. I don't know what these dorks fucking are thinking when they pull that stupid mindless shit. It's like, really? Yeah, are you that dense? You fucking got your head around the cosmos and you can't fucking see when a chick's not into you? Good lord. If you could interview any figure in the Bible, who, including Jesus and God, if you want? No, I would be the snake. Talking snake. I think he'd have more interesting to say than most of the fucking idiots in the Bible. So yeah, I would right away. But I'd just give us the skinny. No pun intended. You're a snake. What really happened in the garden, and what did you really have in mind here, and what's it like being a snake? Is it hard living without legs? I don't know. And why don't other snakes talk? Uh, Atheistic belief? That's not a belief. Thanks for trying though. New England is fairly atheistic since the witch trials. Yeah, fairly. I don't know. I grew up in New England, and it's more it's less evangelical. I'll tell you that. There's plenty of old school mainline Protestants and people who believe in God and just kind of in the background, and they go back to work and they don't want religion fucking up their week. That's how New England is. But you're right. I mean, places like Boston and Connecticut and Vermont are more atheistic than a lot of areas. It's because people are more educated. It's just that's the way it is. Massachusetts is like the home of all the best universities, right? Not all the best, obviously, but it's like concentrated areas like that of intelligent discourses and learning and science are where you're going to find those kind of people. And the further away from that shit you get, the further you get into the country, the more ignorant, the more uneducated, and the more likely people are to believe conspiracy theories, including the great God conspiracy. Yeah, the donkey, that's good. The donkey, Mary Magdalene, that'd be a good one to interview out of the Bible, right? See what was really going on there. Um, John, right? The one that Jesus loved. Got some tough questions for that guy. Thanks for the TikTok, Lily O'Shea. I love you. Snakes let their actions speak for them. What's up, Matt? I didn't give you a toot today, man. Good to see you, buddy. The Matt Hatter is here. Follow my guy, the Matt Hatter, if you haven't. He had lags before, according to the story. Oh, I didn't watch. Watches any good movies or media? Astonishing Do Skull. What's an astonishing Do Skull? Yeah, I talked about the movies I watched. Watch Don't Look Up. This movie was fucking great, man, on Netflix. Great satire and parody, really, of our society, politically, socially. The science deniers, really, really good shit. And Hannah, I started talking about Hannah. I thought that was nice. If there's girls kicking somebody's ass, I'm generally on board for it. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, one of my favorite movies always. Such a good movie. I watched it in Chinese the third time I watched it. I just watched it in Chinese. It didn't even put on the subtitles. What a fucking beautiful fucking movie that is. But yeah, any time that there's like girls getting trained to kick people's asses, I'm on board. And Hannah, about like a secret underground operation to train little girls to be assassins, and off the grid, like a secret CIA thing, right? Like a rogue. They're trying to do it behind the CIA's back, And so they create all these super assassins out of these like 10-year-old girls, A 3-season arc. I don't know if it's going to go on. It looked like it kind of came to an end, but yeah, right now, I finished a lot of series lately. Got to the end of Insecure. You guys like Insecure? That was a cute show, and it ended just a little while ago. I watched that. A lot of shows. Altered Carbon. I finished. I'm trying to think of all the shows that I recently hammered through. Um, they're pretty good. What's up, the real Ori? You want to interview Noah? So you gotta like have be somebody that you might have a realistic expectation that they were there. Like, pretty sure there was a snake in the Garden of Eden. You might get to interview him, and it turns out that he can't say anything because what do you know? Snakes can't talk. But Noah's pretty demonstrably not real. So you can't really interview guys that weren't there. That were just made up anyway. Hard to know if you could even interview Moses these days. People don't think Moses really existed, and just kind of an amalgam of the lawmaker archetype found in a lot of those ancient myths. I have seen Hannah. That's what we were just talking about. Thanks, James LeBear. I really liked Hannah. I liked the way it ended. Do you know if there's another season? They kind of left it so they could do that if they wanted to, but I liked it. I thought it was nice the way they made her grow up over the just 3 years. And yeah, I thought it was pretty intriguing that crazy looking Morel Enos, and she's always good in what she does. A real hateable character, but um, funky looking chick. What is my education? I have a bachelor's degree and some other shit that I've taken, but yeah, no, I have an undergrad degree. What's my favorite book of all time? I don't think I'll ever read a book that I'll enjoy more than when I read Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, when I was 12 years old. It's just stuck with me in a way that whenever anybody asks me what my favorite book of all time is, I probably go to that. I just was blown away as a 12-year-old when I wrote that, or when I wrote it. Don't you wish? When I read that. There is a new season of Hannah. Okay, yeah. It seemed like it ended it in a way where if they wanted to, they could have just quit it where it was. You ever heard of the astronomer looking for comets, not knowing he spotted? You ever heard of the astronomer looking for comets, not knowing he spotted Neptune? No. Is that a true story? Jezebel, there's a good one. Deserves a good interview. Yes, Hannah is based on the movie. Also a good movie with Eric Bana and Siobhan O'Rourke. Is that her? She was Hannah in the movies. I don't know. Good movie too. But yeah, the series on Amazon Prime quite good. The Swedish actor Eric Kinnaman. I didn't know he was Swedish. This guy's everywhere. Um, Joel, not Eric. I'm thinking Joel Kinnaman. You wouldn't know he was Swedish by watching him act. I had to read about him to find that out, and it makes sense when you see the guy. But he's everywhere, man. He's always good. He's decent. He does a good job. Big, burly Swedish guy, rugged, good looks. I guess not my type, but um, yeah. Watch Hannah. Good. Opinion on the Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale. The first couple of seasons, especially, were as gorgeously filmed as any TV show I've really ever seen. It was just a beautiful artistic vision, and yeah, I mean the show's good. The story is compelling. I think the last season was a little bit weaker, but it ended pretty strong, didn't it? Yeah, big fan. We saw Margaret Atwood at the FFRF convention. Fabulous woman, fabulous speaker, great guest. Just clever and sharp. At what she's almost 90, I bet. Um, my favorite character in Lord of the Rings, I'm a Gandalf guy, please. I can't get away from the coolness of being a wizard. Um, that's just too good. But yeah, there's lots of them. You know, Tom Bombadil. It's a big Tom Bombadil guy. Bummed out that they had to leave that out of the movies, right? I was one of those guys. Like, where is Tom Bombadil? Goldberry, right? Sorry, Balrog was right. You shall not pass. Just scroll back through the comments here, see what I missed. It's 8 o'clock already. I am hungry. I'm not gonna last a lot longer tonight because I did not eat yet, and I got to go do that. But I have been looking forward to getting back on with you fine people because of my time away. Oh, somebody finally got. You know what? Thanks, Dion Lachey. You had issues with TikTok, caused problems on your computer. This TikTok keeps fucking coming back. So appreciate you being here, and thanks for hanging in there. I turned away from the screen, so I did not see that you're on that. But and thanks as always, Don Crazy Crazy Cat Lady, for paying attention on YouTube and seeing who's there. You can always remind me, of course, if you see I'm ignoring it because I switch windows here, and I could probably leave one window. I could probably separate that if I was slicker. FFRF is taking Wisconsin Senator Rod Johnson to task for reckless anti-vax medical advice given on a radio show earlier this week. After downplaying the seriousness of the virus, he asked, "Why do we think that we can create something better than God in terms of combating disease? Are you fucking kidding me?" This guy said that? Everything we've ever done is better than what God can create in terms of combating disease. Everything that humans have ever done to combat disease is because of humans. This fucking Ron Johnson asshole, man. What the fuck? What do I got to do to get this asshole out of office in my state? What an embarrassment to humanity. Ron Johnson. It sounds like a porn star, doesn't he? What a pig. God. What do we think that we can create some why do we think we can create something better than God in terms of combating disease? What has God ever created to combat disease? What a fucking half-wit. I don't even have words for what a Johnson this Johnson is. In a letter to Johnson, FFRF co-presidents Annie Laurie and Dan Barker asked him to retract the anti-vaccine advice. Johnson demonstrated his lack of basic medical knowledge by telling McKenna that after he got COVID-19, he didn't have any symptoms. He asked incredulously, "How do you explain that?" This is the level of leadership we have in the country, my friends. Oh God. Johnson's bizarre Dark Ages argument is basically a religious repudiation of modern medicine. The obvious fact is that medical science, including vaccination, has improved human health almost immeasurably compared to when church and state were united, when scientific advancement was condemned as heresy and witchcraft, rates FFRF. Yes, obviously. What could be more obvious than the fact that God has never done anything except give us disease? And here Ron Johnson says, "Why do we think we can create?" Really? Did God create penicillin? Did God create what the fuck? The inventor of the polio vaccine has done more for humanity than God. Absolutely. Thank you, G. Quincy. And now here we are trying to back it up. I saw a TikTok earlier where it looked like DeSantis could barely speak. Rona? What's that mean, Squeeze? How you doing, Squeeze? I didn't give you a two. Good to see you, bud. Green Sprite. Hey, good to see you. If pronouns are personalized to individuals, they are no longer pronouns. They're simply extra names. Okay. Squidget, was that in response to something? You're not wrong. I mean, if but are pronouns now personalized to individuals? I mean, I guess people are making up their own, like Zed. My pronoun is Zed. I don't know what that means. Are they making up pronouns for every individual, or are they just using they instead of he and she or something else? I don't know. Thank you, Reject Mac. Oh, DeSantis has COVID. It looks like, yeah. Is that the Florida asshole? Good for him. Everyone's gonna have it. It's everywhere. It's people are dropping like flies around me, and they're all not vaccinated. It's everybody's gonna get it at this point who didn't get vaccinated, and some of them who did get vaccinated are gonna get it, and those people are gonna have a better time with it than the people who didn't get vaccinated. And pretty soon there will be herd immunity because everybody will have gotten it. And that's the way these assholes chose to deal with it. They're like, "I'll take my chances. This virus has killed 800,000 people, but boy, that that vaccine has killed two people. I read. I really don't. I don't like them chances. What the fuck is wrong with you?" It's like a mother I gave birth. You these men who can. I'm not sure how you understand. Lely O'Shea. I don't understand the sentences. Um, yeah, Jonas Salk, Walter Reed. I mean, God's immune system didn't do much during the European Black Death. Yeah, this is what happens, right? I mean, this is nature. It adjusts itself after a while. Overpopulation in the areas, and all of a sudden, we'll throw a virus at this problem, and all of a sudden there won't be so much overpopulation. This is how nature does its thing. If you have a monoculture, you have an unlimited feeding supply for a certain vector, and that vector is going to feed. As we see this in landscape. You plant all ash trees in a town, and when a bug comes to eat ash trees, it finds paradise and it eats all your fucking ash trees. It's the problem with monoculture um, in the world. So none of that stuff is surprising. This is what would happen. This is how nature would deal with us if we didn't intervene, Ron Johnson, and come up with medicine that God could never possibly come up with. Why? Because he doesn't exist, and B, because he never has. He's had all entire human history to come up with um, disease cures for diseases, and he's never done it. So uh, Ron Johnson needs to get off the fucking. No need to rush. I get you, Matt. Who hasn't gotten it? Lady Luna, you haven't gotten the vaccine? Vaccinated are getting it just the same. Ask a liberal, you lie. What the hell does that mean? The numbers are in, but it's ask a liberal. No, just look up. Just look at the fucking science. It's everywhere. If you're not getting the clusters of breakouts are among unvaccinated people. That's yes, some vaccinated people are getting it. The vaccine came out fast. They probably it would have been a better vaccine if they had longer to do it. They're just trying to kill a fucking virus. If you want to take your chances with the virus, I hope you don't get it too bad, buddy, because it fucking sucks. I got a guy who's had it a year and a half ago. He still can't breathe right. He's going back to the doctor to find out why his lungs always hurt. Oh, good for you. I mean, you gotta do the other stuff too. You gotta just be smart. Don't touch a lot of surfaces in public places and wear gloves when you can, and use disinfectant and wash, and don't cough on people and wear your fucking mask, and you're going to minimize your risk of getting it. But if you do that stuff alone, but go get the fucking vaccine. It's just not a big deal. You have to be an idiot. Even if they created the virus on purpose and the vaccine on purpose, why would you just let them make you sick and not go ahead and take the fucking vaccine? You're not going to be on the planet for that long anyway. And so if you want to take your chances with COVID, you go ahead. The idea that the government is trying to do something funky with the vaccine that they couldn't already do to you through your fucking cell phone or whatever is absurd. There's no evidence for it. And you don't trust the government. Somebody's like, you don't trust, you like are skeptical about God, but you're not skeptical. I believe in anything. It's not about the government. It's about every fucking medical professional and scientist on the planet, save a very few outlying weirdos. That's who you're arguing against. The government has a vested interest in keeping you alive. They want your taxes. All right. They're not trying to fucking kill you off. They're trying to kill a virus so that they still have people to pay fucking taxes and keep them in their government positions. They have a vested interest in getting rid of the virus. That's why they're pushing it. But it's not them that's coming up with the stuff. It's the scientists and the virologists and the medical industry overwhelmingly. I've not talked to one doctor anywhere who thinks that you shouldn't get the fucking vaccine. Nowhere. So, if you're going to deny that, that's who you're going against. You're going against the experts. You're not going against some government body who's like trying to get you to take something that nobody has any idea about. No, don't be a fucking moron. Be skeptical when you really need to be skeptical. Don't go out on a limb and take a fucking unnecessary risk of your life because you think the fucking government is trying to fucking fix a chip in you with a goddamn vaccine. The government can't even fix the road out in front of my house. How can they get a chip in a vaccine? That's exactly right. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Miss Marvin Gaye every day, don't you? Um, but yeah, the government's they take somebody else who was a soldier. Like I was in Afghanistan, the government gave us stuff to purposely track us, and it didn't work. So to expect that the government could fucking have their shit together for this is just you have to be a fucking lunatic. And you have to believe the conspiracy theory. You have to believe that the whole world is involved. Imagine the email chain on the fucking all the sciences and all of that. Okay, this week you guys have to make sure that what? What do you think about this? My cousin is a nurse and told me they have to tell you to get it. Who has to? Whether they agree or not? The nurse has to tell you? What why is I don't know, why is the nurse not agreeing? I don't, my province is under curfew 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Can't leave the house, and I'm okay with that. Why? Why? What's up in Canada that you got a curfew from 10 to 5 a.m. because of COVID? It's crazy. Um, yeah, right. Everybody gets a flu shot every fucking year. They could have done. It's just so dumb. It's just literally so dumb. It's embarrassing intellectually. Countries are trying to do what they have to do to stop a fucking virus. Yeah, Chicago is going to make you prove that you've got vaccinated if you're going to go eat with other human beings in a fucking restaurant. And the ex-wife is losing her fucking mind. Oh, here it comes. Oh, here it comes. Now, like that. Just keep your proving that you got vaccinated. Yeah, they're trying to kill a fucking disease. They're trying to make it so everyone's not dead because you all fucking don't care about it. I got my fucking car. I don't care. I'll be eating in that restaurant. You can fucking take a shit at home and eat your fucking macaroni and cheese out of a box, man. Just don't go to the restaurant. Who gives a shit? Science does win. I feel happy too. And I gotta get my booster soon. It's almost time. What's up, Nikki Beyonce? I love that. Thanks, Kev. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, well, it's good to be back. Piddlepuck. I love that name. Piddlepuck 23 is here. Why did you have to pick 23? Was there 22 other Piddlepucks? That's hard to believe. You mean it's like Piddle? I'm gonna call myself Piddlepuck. Fuck, it's already taken. Piddlepuck 1. God damn. Piddlepuck. Well, I was recommending Piddlepuck 23 for you. Old liar 556. Yeah, I don't know. Are you a scientist, buddy, or you're just a guy? Um, like I said, if they'd had more time to work on it, it probably could have been a more comprehensive vaccine. They tried to get it out fast, and it's for what they did. It seems to be pretty fucking effective. But again, I don't give a shit if you don't. I mean, I do, but at this point, it's over. We're not going to get herd immunity anyway. So take your chances with the fucking virus if you want. My mom's birthday too, 23. Oh, big Michael Jordan fan, Piddle Puck, 23. I thought of that, right? When you hear 23, right? If you were alive in the 90s, you think um you think Michael Jordan, don't you? What is your atheist story in a nutshell? In a nutshell, I was raised in a liberal mainline Protestant sect called Congregationalism, where nobody taught me that the Bible was literal anywhere in any way. Nobody threatened me with hell every week, and we learned about other religions. And by the time I got to be 16 or 17 and started learning things and researching and kind of using my own thought process instead of listening to what my parents said all the time, it became quite obvious to me that the whole thing is a ball of shit and a lie and just made up and not real and silly and unsustainable and uh, impossible. It's such an obvious control mechanism, comfort myth kind of thing. So I got old enough to start thinking for myself really, and was too intelligent to believe that bullshit anymore. That's all. Jordan was the beast, and Jordan's thing just so competitive, right? I don't know. Is TB eradicated? We have anti-vaxxers in every. I don't think so. I don't think it is anymore. We have everything coming back because we have anti-vaxxers on the other side of the COVID before that. People are like, the autism bullshit, thanks to that one asshole's bad fucking study. Yeah, I like that piddle puck too. The Romans did write everything down, and they did a lot of fucking just image making, right? It wasn't like they didn't have photographs, but they sure had fucking sculpture that was good and art and whatever, and descriptions. And somebody could have been like, yeah, Jesus was, you know, about this tall, and he had curly hair and olive colored skin and had a mole on his. Somebody could have described him somewhere physically somehow, and like literally there's nothing. Parents told me to make up my own mind. I love that. They're like, hey, make up your own mind. Thank you, Tech. What's up? Oh, Captain Dadpool going live tonight too, man. Oh, going up against the big guns tonight. I am. Hi, Nikki Pat. 3 shots and whiskey too. Right. Horse and the Jesus myth are equal. Yeah, there's obvious. I don't know if they're equal, but yeah, there's obvious parallels there. Jesus is so clearly based on earlier dying and rising sun messiahs for anyone to think that hey, yeah, this is the right one. This is the real one. They got this one right after like the seventh version. If I could be reborn into any culture, what would it be? That's a great one. Boy, oh boy, that's a great one. I would probably be reborn into pre pre-colonial Hawaii. Give me Hawaii in about 1750. Am I getting that right? I think they got to Hawaii in the late 1700s. Um, I'm just guessing about that, but yeah, before Western disease came and before um, missionaries and explorers bent on raping the unknown world for its resources, Hawaii sounds like a pretty fucking idyllic culture um, back then. The halo in their pictures are the sun dish. Yes, yes. The whole sun messiah thing is so fucking obvious. I don't know why anybody bothers trying to deny that. The evolution of worshiping the sun into worshiping a personification of the sun is a clear evolution of religion. It's just I don't know what could be more obvious than that. Finnish or Icelandic culture, our time, they are very feminist countries. Yeah, I could go to Iceland tomorrow. You could fucking reborn me and send me to Iceland tomorrow. Most beautiful women I have ever seen anywhere in my life were the stewardesses on Iceland Air. My jaw was on the floor the entire trip. I could not believe it. I literally thought I was in like a model get together. They were just the most beautiful women I'd ever seen, and the men were pretty good too there. Not a lot of sunlight, but man, what a great place. I should worship Shiva, the destroyer. Yeah, we're gonna fire Hinduism pretty soon. I'm gonna get around to doing that video here pretty soon. Worshiping Joe Pesci. That's the clear answer, my friend. Worship Joe Pesci, and all your troubles will go away. Don't fuck around, you know. I don't need anything for a sacrifice except maybe you bring me a ham sandwich now and again. The sun is overrated. Yeah. Uh, said like said said like a true resident of Buffalo. I've never been to Buffalo when the sun was out. Is it always cloudy there? It's one of those places that always seems cloudy to me. Peace, brother. Got to check my bets and scores. Yeah, Piddlepuck. Check it out, man. Do that important shit. Danish girl sad now? Why? Yeah, nothing's obvious when you're in a cult of deniers. Dougie Tech, you're right about that. You are right about that. Beef stew. Thanks for the likes, man. We get pretty warm, sunny summers. Actually, they're just short. Yeah. Who's Joe Pesci? This guy. I'm too young. Who's Joe Pesci? You never saw Home Alone? You never saw? There's like movies that he's been in that everybody's seen. I mean, I know God, Goodfellas is like 30 years old now, right? That's like 1990. That I saw Ray Liotta in Hannah, right? Ray Liotta makes his appearance in the third season of Hannah, and man, he's looking rough these days. I'm glad to see him still working, but uh, when I saw him on a anti like a cigarette like a quitting cigarette ad for some kind of one of those replacements that you use, when I saw him on that, I was like, oh, Ray Liotta from Oscar nomination for his early work to I can quit smoking if I use this stuff on an infomercial. Um, but Joe Pesci in what Casino? What's Joe Pesci been in that this young person might have known? You guys, what's up? Jiu-Jitsu is life. How you been? Yeah, it's no different really. I know Buffalo. It's the same as this whole wherever we are. It's like if you're in this part of the temperate zone, it might be 80 one day and it might be 22. It's not. That's we get that here too, and you get it in New England, and you get it all the way across Michigan and upstate New York and Pennsylvania and wherever you are. All you kind of and that's that joke. If you don't like the weather, stay 5 minutes and it'll change for you. You can go to like 10 different places in the country and have people say that to you. You don't like the weather in New England? Stay a while. It'll change for you. That's an old Mark Twain quote. But you hear people say that anywhere. because it's the same here. It's exactly the same in Wisconsin as it is like that. Yeah, Home Alone. He's one of the criminals in Home Alone, right? That's Joe Pesci, the little bubbling one, and Daniel Stern. Yeah, My Cousin Vinny. You may have seen My Cousin Vinny. That's maybe what he's most famous for. As kind of a standalone performance. Other than those other movies, he's always kind of one of a ensemble, right? The gangster movies. But yeah, Casino and Goodfellas and My Cousin Vinny and Home Alone. I am getting famished here, so I'm gonna cut this off in a couple of minutes. So if you got anything else, throw it up there, and I am gonna make my apologies and exit slightly early tonight. Religious father wants restitution from boy that took his daughter's virginity. What a dick. No pun intended. What do you want for that, Dad? Oh, you imagine this purity culture and this valuing of virgins. I saw a great TikTok. It seemed like a sociologist or somebody was talking about how purity culture is just like really, really, it breeds the rape culture that we're in because it places the highest value on femininity as that being a virgin, innocent girl, and that's then men get this idea across the generations that is the most desirable thing is to have a virgin, and so it just it's counterindicated to the sexual health of a society, honestly. And again, with religion, that's what it does. That's what it does. Fucks everything up. Everything it touches turns to shit. The Bible is a comic book that was taken too seriously. Well, let me tell you, if the Bible is a comic book, it's really lacking in illustration. Not great art in the Bible for a comic book. You're about to get a real bad winter storm here. That happens like every other day, doesn't it? It's Buffalo, dude. Quit showing off your Danish, you two lovebirds. I'm getting itchy over here. He needs about tree fitty. Who needs tree fitty? What's that mean? Would you want to be a child in today's world? Probably. I would. I don't know. I would want to be a child just so I could live longer. Right? That's. But yeah, I don't know. I think in a lot of ways, children have it, better than ever. And, their chances of growing up healthy are better than ever. Their opportunities to learn and to explore the world are greater than ever. So yeah, I don't think I'd have a problem being a child in today's world. It's having a child in today's world. That's what makes you worry, right? Because you send them off to school and they end up coming back with bullets in them in the good old U.S. of A. So but to be a child, that's probably actually pretty much as great as it's always been. Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, IRS been pretty quiet here this year. This is the first. Yeah, well, this has been. We haven't had any real weather either. But now you're in it now, and I think that's your global warming, right? Your climate change has made it so that December is rarely very snowy anymore in our latitude. It just doesn't happen very much. We didn't have really any snow to speak of this December, and that's not unusual. Some winters you will still, but a lot of times it doesn't even really get that cold until Christmas anymore, and that's crazy. Don't be born in a religious home. Yeah, don't you wish you could control that? What's up, Odd Productions? Thanks for being here. Tuning in at the end here, though. I'm going to blast off out here because I got to go inside and eat something. But I do like to get it at least an hour and a half in for the folks here. And it does go by so fast because I love it so much. And I love all you good people so fucking much. It's so great to see you all. How about this beard, man? This bad boy's getting long. I trimmed it a little bit, but if I fluff it out, it's like, wow, man, I let this bottom of this bad boy get long. I wanted to do a Santa video and I just didn't get around to it. I wasn't around. And now I was gonna have to wait a whole fucking year, right? But yeah, I had to do some grooming today before I got on. Finally, actually shaved, missed a spot. But yeah, what do you think? The beard Should I keep growing it out? It's winter. But I grow it out in the winter and then shave it short in the summer because it does. It gets hot and itchy in the summer. I don't. I had it most of the summer this year just because I think the girlfriend likes it. I'm alone. I'm alone.co.uk. I'm alone county UK. What is that? What? Hello, my friend. How you doing? UK from the UK today. Boy, right. Bye, astonishing Dusko. I'll see you later. You get a lot of snow in Denmark? Is it snow a lot there? They're making you shave yours. Fascists. Why? Who's making you shave? That's not right. Hello, film guy. How you doing? Thank you, Green Spray, for saying that you're more secure in your atheism. I really appreciate that. It makes honestly, it really makes it all worthwhile. That anybody takes anything away from this silliness. So I do appreciate you so much for saying that, Green Sprite, and good luck to you, man. Your parents know? How did that go? Is that new? Did you tell your parents? Or they're like, oh, we'll pray for you. Use a lot of numbers. What's up? Matt, who's making you shave, man? That's wrong. That's wrong. You in Texas now and your beard's too long? They're making you shave it? They're like, it's not Christian have it long hair and beard. I didn't have VR when I was a kid. I had Virtual Boy. What? That's pretty good. All right, gang. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it. Let's see who got on YouTube. I'll see you guys later on YouTube. Bye.